but her behavior was abnormal. This little guy, not so little, is all done. Right now we can see that this ewe has almost passed her placenta, just keeping him alive at this point. Okay, so we decided to intervene with this ewe. Don't ever tube feed a lamb that's not holding its own head up. Good morning, I'm Lynn, and welcome to another day at Ewetopia Farms. As I head to the barn this morning, I'm doing it with a lot of trepidation. We just had a lamb born, and this one is not a good story. So we started really good with the twins, but it didn't take long to go into something not so nice. So let's go in and see what's happening today. Okay, so this is the girl who just had her lambs. One of them was head first and has a really swollen head and is struggling a bit. So she had a really, really bad delivery. I believe she's a first timer, but we got a scanner. Arnie thought she had a single, but she just had another one. The other one is nice and perky though, right? That's the perky one?
Well, the other one's walking around the pen and going, I'm saying to myself, gee, the first one's really doing good. And then I see this too.
Well, that's a good girl.
She's
Sorry.
under stress a little bit.
Yeah.
And I can dip them, but...
So the first one was legs back, head swelling up.
Just hang on that for 1 second, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob.
This is the last one born that you weren't here for. And this one looks sparky at least. That's good.
Female.
Female.
Hey, Bob.
Hi, sweetheart. And she, as stressed as she is, she's now chatting with the little lamb.
She's got lots of milk.
And she has lots of milk.
Don't want the old one. Maybe once a one. This is the one this is the one I'm worried about. Watch this. Hey, Bobby. How's your deformed feet doing? Hey.
Okay, front feet look pretty good. Oh, I thought you were done him.
Oh, it's racing pretty hard.
Arnie thinks this one has crooked legs.
It does.
Is it his front legs or his back legs?
Everything. See? That's why I asked you, what is that?
Right now we're concerned about keeping him warm and fed. This one's trying to nurse already, so this isn't a all bad story. And here's the two born the other day. The male just ran under the feeder there. The female's here. These guys are all doing really good. And why is there a ewe in here? Oh, that's the girl with the stripe.
What's that?
This is the girl with the stripe.
Yeah, she's just in here temporarily.
Tag these guys today, get them recorded, and let them go into the group pen, and they can be the first of the group.
I'll be shocked that
I did a quick scan on this ewe. She's a gladiator daughter, and this is her first lambing. This one I couldn't scan her yet because, of course, her radio tag is missing. So I got to catch her to read that farm tag. That's why we double tag and tattoo, because inevitably the tags come out. But I did mark her. She's got an orange 1 on her back. That means she has a ewe lamb. And the orange dot, green dot means she's got a boy and a girl. So that's how I can identify her in the pen. And when I tag her lambs, they'll each get a number 1 on their back as well. Okay, Scotty's eating in privacy here now. He's just come in from outside. He basically lives in with the rams out here. That's his spot. Tommy's in the barn. And this ewe is, Arnie's just gone to get her water. She's on antibiotics every other day. She looks great, but we're gonna keep her isolated. She can hear she's still a little raspy. But otherwise she's acting normal, she's eating well. And she doesn't get any antibiotics today because she's on long acting now, as per vet recommendation. Everyone on Glad's side is quiet at the moment. No lambs are imminent from his side of the barn. And right now on Knockout's side of the barn, remember we have a ewe that always lays down on her own. I think this is her. This is always the spot she's in. Only today when we look at her, she's not chewing her cud. She's going into labor for sure. And as you all know, she's been acting strange in that she's kind of segregated herself off really early prior to lambing. So you always wonder with those ones who act different from the norm if there is a potential problem there with the lambs. Again, she was acting normal. It was just her, like as far as eating, drinking, getting up, getting down and stuff, that was all normal. But her behavior was abnormal. Segregating herself and lying down quickly. So you always take note of those ones. And then when you lamb, you see if there was anything going on, because she has been acting weird for like a week or two. And right now she's not in hard labor, but she's pushing ever so slightly. So I am going to continue with chores because she's not right at it, but we'll get back to her very quickly. She's also a ewe that was treated for lice as well when we gave them their booster shots. There you see, she's definitely in labor. Well, it's hard to believe that we're doing this again. It seems like these lambs were just born, and it also seems like I just finished tagging my last lamb. But right now it's time to tag the firstborn lambs. They're going to get a radio tag. They're going to get a shot of selenium because in this area we are deficient in selenium. They're going to get a little drench of Baycox, just a couple of mils. That's something for preventing coccidiosis. It is also something that a sheep farmer who had been in sheep for like 50 years gave us the tip of doing that, because on the bottle it does say to treat them like a month after lambing, but he suggested we do it as they leave the jug. It's way cheaper that way because you use less of it, and we don't have coccidiosis here. Very, very rare. So is it because we're doing that? I don't know, but it seems to be. So we continue with that practice. Also, each lamb is going to get a little band put on their tail. So we're going to make a bunny tail like hers that will just cover her private parts, but won't be long and dangly. And they will get recorded into the computer. They'll be linked in with mom and dad so we can always keep track of them. And they will each get a radio tag and a farm tag. We double tag for the exact reason of her having two tags. One fails, we always got a backup. And if it's a registered sheep, we also back up with a tattoo as well. The tags, we just can't rely on them. So all that will be done to the lambs, and I will mark a number 1 on each lamb, and then when Arnie's ready, he's going to come in and he's going to trim her hooves, and she's going to get a deworming with Ivomec, and then her and the lambs will be released into the group pen, and they will be the first of the group. So let's get started on that now. So we'll do the little boy first. We tag at the back of the ears. We find that helps the tag stay in a little bit longer. Just like getting his ears pierced. The selenium shot is sub-Q. It's only 1/4 of a cc. This is the Baycox. They just drink that down. That's the tail. And that's a number 1 on his back. This little guy, not so little, is all done. I'm going to turn off the machine now, and I'm going to do his sister. Yeah, you're lovely. You are. That's the little girl done. Hi, sweetheart. Say hi. I just checked Mom's history. This is her second lambing. She had twins this year, as you can see. Last year she had a single ewe lamb, but on her record it said that she adopted a ram lamb last year from someone else. So both years she has raised twins. So she's one of those sheep that you'd give a star to, because not all sheep will adopt a lamb, but she did, and even on her first lambing, so that's really good. Anyway, they're done. We're just waiting for Arnie to look after her now. The ewe lamb that was just born. She's standing up right now. Mom's licking her. This mom is a first timer. She's the one with the other lamb that's got the crooked legs and the swollen head. So right now he's just wrapped up getting warm, and I'm gonna actually give him a hot water bottle and get this lamb out of the corner because I don't want her to fall in the water bucket. Okay, so she's there. Nice big lamb. Right now we can see that this ewe has almost passed her placenta. It's almost all out now. So that's a good sign for her. Right now I've got a hot water bottle. We always like to have a hot water bottle in the barn for lambing. Some people will put lambs under heat lamps. We don't like to do that because for one thing, they're dangerous in barns. They can cause fires. And also because when they're under the heat lamp, they're not kind of adjusting to the colder temperatures. They're learning to go to a hot spot, and these are lambing in the winter, so they've got to adapt to the cold temperatures. You know how I always say it takes a few days to adapt to the temperatures. So we want the lambs to be well adapted for the cold. However, if we have a lamb that's born and can't get up at first, like him, we've left the towel on him, but I'm going to put a hot water bottle underneath him, and we'll keep changing the hot water bottle out until he's up and walking. And if this lamb does make it and it is up and walking, at that point we might decide to use one of Mary's little blankets on him. But right now we're not going to push him or do too much with him. It's just keeping him alive at this point. While I was in there, the mom just passed her placenta. It's a very healthy looking placenta. It's got good color. It's got the nice little nodules there. There's nothing brown or smelly or anything about it. Healthy placenta. I put the hot water bottle under the lamb as well and had a closer look at the legs that Arnie was talking about. And his back legs are extremely deformed. So I'm guessing that lamb is not going to make it no matter what. They're not the type of legs that are going to be able to be straightened up. But we'll see. We've had little bends in legs before, but nothing as bad as this. I know other farmers have had it, and I think they said it was caused by mosquitoes. I don't know. That's keep posted and we'll let you know what happened. And because we have a raven here, the placentas get tossed out onto the manure pile, and inevitably he'll swoop down and take it away. Keeps them well fed, keeps them well away from any lambs and doing damage to animals, although we've never had that, but you hear about it in the UK. But that's what we do with the placentas. And as for the lamb with the deformed legs, right now we're going to say it's just bad luck. That happens during lambing. Not all of it is perfect. But what we don't want to see is more lambs being born that way, because then you know you have an issue. We're just going to hope at this point it's a one-of. We're trimming the ewe's hooves now. Her hooves look pretty good, don't they? We figure it's easier to do them while they're in the jug. So it's just a one at a time thing, and we know that everyone gets done.
Jeez.
This is why Arnie doesn't prefer the automatic clippers.
That's a dumb thing.
Because if you make the slightest mistake, you can actually like cut your finger off.
See that?
Okay. And now a deworming with Ivomec. This is the one time where we deworm them on a schedule, always as they leave the jug, because we were told that during lambing they're under a lot of stress, and if any worms had overwintered in her gut, they will be triggered by the lambing process. So these lambs appear to be doing okay, and there's no one else that has lambs, so we're gonna take these little guys out, and they're all gonna go into the big pen, where they should start running around and have a real fun time. It's better exercise for them in the bigger pen, and there's less chance of mom laying on them. Okay, so we decided to intervene with this ewe because nothing was progressing. Right now, Arnie's trying to pull out a lamb. Pardon?
This is a backwards lamb.
Backwards lamb.
I'm
So
gonna guess this.
the first lamb was backwards, and that's why she wasn't progressing. It's very hard to deliver a backwards lamb, so he had to, the bum was over the opening, so he had to push it back a little, try find the back legs and bring them out backwards.
Oh, for sure.
And now it looks like this one's backwards too. In the meantime, she's got two lambs here live, a boy and a girl. The backwards one was the bigger one, and it's the girl. The smaller one over here is a boy. And we got a third one here. It's alive too.
Hopefully.
So it was lucky we did that. Now we have to make a decision. Do we want to give one of these lambs to the ewe who has the deformed lamb? And let her...
Problem, with, she's not in good shape now.
Well, like I say, the decision to make is, do you want to give one of these lambs to the one who has the deformed lamb?
Probably wouldn't hurt any, because she raised three or she raises three.
I don't think... The other one, I did look at his legs. I don't see how he's going to walk around. We're going to make a quick decision while this one's just covered in slime and it's a boy. Her other good one is a girl. We're going to see if she'll, by some miracle, take this one. And that way both moms will be left with twins. This ewe does have milk, but from carrying triplets, she's a little poor condition. We just gave her some glycol, which is sugar, to help her go a bit. I checked her teats. She does have milk. The best chance of the ewe accepting a lamb is when it's soaking wet like this. And right now, she's talking to it and licking it. We know her other good lamb that's her own is a girl. That's why I asked Arnie if it was a boy or a girl, because this way we can tell the adopted one's a boy. So there's the mom with the two that she's got. She's got a boy and a girl. We've given one of her sons to the other ewe. And hopefully everybody will have some nice lambs. And the deformed lamb will probably just bottle feed it if it survives. She's famous for sitting like this. Aren't you, sweetheart? We always have pictures of you like this. You're in Glad's pen. And this is the comfy position to be in. Here's the Walk of Fame. We just tube fed the adopted lamb. Mommy looks like she is gonna take it, hopefully. Keep an eye on that. And these two are getting a tube feeding as well. Somebody asked if it's actually lamb colostrum. It's not. It is made of cow's milk, but it's formulated so that it's good for lambs and kids as well.
You can have all this stuff added to it to make it look as natural as possible, though.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. And where's that one? Look at that. So tubing, you know, when people tube the lamb, it can be a little scary. You don't get the lungs. So if I go like this, and you can see he's just sucking that hose down. Go slowly. He's just sucking that hose. But if he's not sucking that hose, you probably don't want to do it.
Yeah, their head has to be up and they have to be strong. Don't ever tube feed a lamb that's not holding its own head up.
So he's got to be sucking it. Because when he sucks it, that little reflexes, it will go in his stomach. And he's not sucking.
And we do this, like we said, Suffolks are slower to get up. It's cold temperatures in our barns at this time of year. This gives the lambs that boost to keep them going for the next 3 to 4 hours. In the meantime, it stimulates their appetite to get them to start going. They'll get up quicker. Mom will have a chance to bond and lick her lambs and come to her milk better. And usually when we come back and check them in 4 hours, you'll usually find the lambs up and nursing. And we don't have to worry, did they get enough? Did they get any?
Oh,
Are they nursing?
are you full, buddy?
And we usually give them about, our lambs are pretty big. We'll weigh one shortly. but we usually give them 2.5 syringes a piece, which is about, so that's 150 mils for their first feeding of colostrum.
So this is the ewe I said the other day. I said you can see her hip bones a little bit, and the reason why is because she has triplets, so she can't eat enough volume to keep her weight up. And even if it was to feed her harder, I'm still wondering if you could actually, you'd have to feed her a real high protein ration or something. Hey Bob, no,
because the lambs are taking up all the room that their rumen and stomach would take up, so ones with multiples have a harder time eating the volume that they should.
So right now, you see what she was just trying to do here is she knows she's in poor shape, she knows she's on the rebound, and she was actually looking for hay a second ago.
Yeah, and we're going to give her hay.
And most sheep that have a lamb are not concerned about the hay right now. But she has got a little bit cooler ears I don't like to see, and she wants to eat. So we're going to give her some nice hay, and hopefully she'll get her weight back on.
Good thing about Suffolks is they know how to eat.
They know how to
usually
eat, yeah.
gain their weight back pretty quickly.
And I'm thinking, if you look at her, she's emptied right out, and you can see the massive rib on her, but she just doesn't have the weight.
And that's why she was laying in the center of the pen all the time, looking uncomfortable. Also, because she had multiples, like triplets. Scan this ewe to see who she is. She's a registered Suffolk 35E, so she's an older girl. We're back for afternoon checks. This is the mom who had the triplets. They're looking pretty feisty. I'm gonna try give this lamb with the legs a bottle. You a little swollen? Are you just a little bit swollen? Oh my goodness. You're a little hungry. It's drinking. And it's a little girl.
The sheep with the triplets just got rid of her afterbirth.
Good.
So that should make her feel better, but she's
So did this one.
not chewing her cud too much. So
Do you give her electrolytes?
no.
Probably should give her some electrolytes.
I wonder if we should tube those lambs. Maybe we don't have to tube them right now, I guess.
I'll
But
see if they want a bottle. These guys, this is the mom who's just a little weak, so we're just topping them up, and they are taking a bottle, so we'll keep them topped up till she's feeling a bit better. Top up with a bottle, and now they're quiet, they're full. Mom's just gonna have a rest. That'll give her time to come to her own milk. And these guys should be fine, but we don't want the lambs to go hungry, so we top them up. This is the adopted lamb and her own lamb. They're walking around the pen. They wouldn't take a bottle, so I assume that they're getting all the milk they need from her. One's already jumping over its sister. Is that nice behavior? That was a busy day. Heading in to make dinner now. We're gonna call that a day. Looks like everybody's okay for the night. Arnie will go back again tonight. Probably I'll be going back to feed the bottles. And what I'm gonna keep doing, like I mentioned earlier, is I had a whole bunch of videos set up to be aired, and they are scheduled to be aired. So any lambing videos, I will intersperse them with the other videos until we get into straight lambing videos, which should only be a few more days. So bear with me as things kind of go back and forth, but you will get to see everything. Bye for now.